importance of pricing your home correctly in our market today. We've had so many shifts over the last 4 years. One term we like to use around our office is the BPV, the buyer perception of value. Now, the buyer perception of value is the most important thing, and our goal is to get the homes listed as close as possible to that. So people will look at our market and feel like it's slower than the GTA and things of that nature, and there's not as many buyers around, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality is there are tons of buyers here. And I like to think of our region as Collingwood has like a hedge around it, and all the buyers are hidden behind that hedge. So you look around, you don't see anyone, but then a well-priced home pops up and boom, heads pop up, people come over, and suddenly we're in a situation where we're in multiple offers. So the closer you can price your property to the buyer perception of value, that's where you're going to get action. That's where you're going to get more showings, more offers, et cetera, because there are buyers waiting for the right home at the right price here. And that switches over to how different our market is in terms of urgency. So urgency is a big thing in real estate. If you're down in the city and you're selling predominantly primary homes, they either are going to list their home and sell it and then panic because they have 60 to 90 days to find a home to buy. So they have urgency on buying. So that changes how those offers come out. And on the selling thing, either it's the other way. Maybe they bought a home and it closes in 90 days. Now they have 90 days to get their house listed on the market and sold. We don't have that same urgency here. We have people that are migrating up here and moving here, and they're going to move here when the right property comes at the right price. So they don't have extreme urgency. And often they'll come and buy a place here before they sell their place in the city. We also sell a lot of weekend homes, secondary homes, income properties up here. So those people aren't desperately in need of finding a home right now on a time limit. So they watch the market, they figure out the right home at the right time, at the right price, and then they take action on that home. And on the other side of it, why we have a gap in our pricing and a gap in urgency is that we also have many, many sellers that have a condo or a chalet or something up here that they're kind of getting done with their time of using that chalet. So they're going to sell it if they get the right price, if they get the price they want for that chalet. So what ends up happening here is we get a lot of overpriced listings where the sellers don't have any urgency to sell. Buyers are watching that property. They're waiting for the price to be reduced. And we create this gap. The list price is higher than the buyer perception of value, which means you don't get very many showings and you're not getting any offers. But it doesn't mean there aren't buyers looking at that property, keeping an eye on that property, watching to see if that price is going to come down. And interesting enough, what we're seeing now in our market is that we'll see a listing on the market for say 90 days. And then our buyers want to make an offer, they make an offer, and then we get a notification that someone else has as well. And what that shows is that there's buyers sitting in the weeds. They've seen the house, they like the house, but not at that price. They think it's overpriced, so it's just going to sit and they're going to wait. So they're not ready to make an offer on the property at that particular price right now, but they're going to wait and watch. So then we see ourselves in multiple offers. There's really only 2 offers, but that's what drives our market. Buyer perception value, list price, the gap in urgency. Sellers don't really need to sell. Buyers don't really need to buy. It's just an entirely different market than the GTA. So this concept of the buyer perception of value is so incredibly important in our market based on the gap in urgency for buyers and sellers, based on just how much our market has shifted in the last 4 years with all the events of the world and such. So we're kind of settling into where prices should be at this point in time, and sellers are starting to maybe be a bit more realistic and getting their property closer to that BPV. And there's really nothing more important in the movement of our market right now than to get these list prices as close as possible to that BPV, the buyer perception of value.